Gym. I might have actually lost 150 pounds of fat, not 130 pounds. So I just got out of the gym and I'm at home right now just making this video before I go do stuff and then go to sleep. But I want to talk about in this video my reasonings why I think I might have actually lost 150 pounds instead of 130 pounds. Because I put in the TikTok, I lost 130 plus pounds. And I prided myself over this number because in high school I used to be 340 pounds. I remember going on the bathroom scale and hopping onto it. I was like, finally, this is going to be the time I lose weight. But I kept eating the junk food. I kept playing the games all day. And my scale number went over the 300 pounds limit on there. And it fucking went over by 40 pounds. So I remember that shit at 340. I was big as a fucking beach ball. I don't know how I was alive, bro. And let me tell you, that was like at 14. So I was still going through puberty, I guess, and still getting like a bit of muscle mass there. But it probably isn't like you lose, it's probably not like you gain 50 pounds of muscle. I get most of the muscle mass at that time. And I was at 340 pounds. I was like, wow, this sucks ass. I remember it. I was super fat. I don't know how I was even alive. And now currently at 22, around 8-9 years later, I am 213.8. I mean, I weighed myself with the shoes and I ate all my food. I am usually around 210, like without any of the stuff, because I weighed myself back then without any clothing or anything. But I will tell you, that is why I said 130 pounds, because 340 minus 210 is 130. But I did some thinking on it, and back when I was 340 pounds, I didn't do any fucking training at all. I did not do any weightlifting. I couldn't do a single fucking push-up, dude. Now I can do way more. I can do like 30, 35 push-ups in a row. I don't struggle with doing one push-up anymore. But nowadays, I've done weight training for about 4 years straight. I haven't really missed much time. I think I missed maybe like a month or something, but pretty much 4 years straight, it has been consistent weightlifting. And pretty much the entire time, I've been in a cut. And if not in a cut, then a maintenance. I've never really bulked in that 4 years. And I still gained muscle. My 1 rep max in the bench press, for example, went from 135 when I first came in. It was either 135 or 125. I forgot whichever number it was. It was around there as my 1 rep max. But now I can do like 10 to 12 of those in a go in the bench press. Now my 1 rep max is like 215. So that's like an 80 pounds increase in 4 years, which is not bad. It's not the craziest number ever, but it's also not the worst. And it's because I never really bulked, right? I've always been cutting in the last 4 years in my whole gym experience. But basically, when it comes to this, I didn't do any weight training. When I first got into any sort of exercise, which was marching band at 14 years old, I actually lost like 30-40 pounds, and it was just because I was out there in the hot sun getting like 10k steps a day, walking around. I was tired as fuck every day. As soon as I get home, I get my ass down. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do shit because my ass is so tired. And after like a couple months of it, the people around me, because they all knew me as a fat guy, they even called me tenacious, because they had like a paper plate award, and they called me the tenacious lion, because I don't know, I was just like trying to impress other people somehow, like seeking validation. I was like, dude, I'm going to be the best marcher guy I'm going to play the best instrument. I played the mellophone, and basically I was known as the tenacious person, even though I was just trying my best here. And I guess it was, right? Because everyone else, they were pretty lean people. And then they look at me, this big ass beach ball, and they're like, how the fuck is this guy even on his 2 feet right now? But basically, that's what happened. And after about a couple months, people were like, dude, whatever the fuck you're doing. Like, I was really out there on the drill field, and I was doing the marching. We were doing the sets. And they're like, yo, whatever you're doing, Ryan. Like, one of the guys told me this. He was like all the people around in the line all set to do the next drill. He's like, yo, Ryan, I just want to let you know, like, whatever the fuck you're doing to lose the weight, like, keep going with it. And everyone's like, yeah, man, I don't know what the fuck. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't change that much. I think I took the health class, and then they were like, yo, stop drinking the soda. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take out the soda. I'm going to drink some diet soda. And I started doing the marching band shit, and I lost like 30-40 pounds of fat. I didn't do any weight training at all, by the way. It was just me moving more. And I was like, okay, well, cool, man, thank you. But basically, I never really changed the habit that much. I still ate like dog shit. I still ate the processed sugar and the seed oils, the hot pockets and shit. Like it wasn't the best, right? But basically, after many years in high school, I actually like lost a bit of pounds, and I think I went to like 270 or some shit. But then when I went back into college and I started going to the gym, I thought I had to bulk or something. So when I first started going to the gym after getting rejected from the marching band there, I started eating all of the Papa John pizzas, and I went from like 270 to like 295, 300 in a scale. I was like, okay, I need to stop this one day. I don't know what was my catalyst, I forgot. But basically, I was watching some YouTube videos, I was looking at myself, I was like, damn, this fat motherfucker has to go. So I started eating more protein and stopped eating a lot of the dog shit. It was step by step, and then I went from 300 into like 250 or something. People on YouTube Shorts were calling me the Discord mod, and you know, I did look like the Discord mod, but you know, it kind of hurts your feelings when you've been working so hard at it and then society still perceives you as this fat motherfucker. But I will tell you guys that in this 4 years experience, I have gained around, I will say, 20 to 30 pounds of muscle mass, because I was completely untrained, right? And then I gained a bit of muscle mass, right? Because I have a little bit of muscle mass because I kept going to the gym, and I was looking at how the muscle mass curves go, and based off my own bench press numbers, I was checking the chat GPT, I was checking all the sources. People are saying that muscle mass usually follows a little bit of like a logarithmic curve, where you gain a lot of the muscle mass in the first year, so around 15 to 20 pounds of muscle mass. The second year is like 8 to 10, and the third year is like 5 to 8, and then fourth year it just gets decayed more and more as the years go by. And I'm at my 4th year here, so I got a lot of newbie gains. I remember I did get pretty strong in the first couple months, but like right now I'm at my strongest, right? But if I would go off of those numbers and I went for 340 pounds, just my absolute highest weight, untrained, no muscle mass at all, then I technically gained 20 to 30 pounds. So I will tell you that instead of me losing 130 pounds, I lost 150 pounds. Let's fucking go, dude. It might be 160, but I will lowball to 150 just to not piss people off. But I will tell you guys my new goal, because I wanted to cut to 175 pounds, because right now I'm at 210, but there was actually some things recently that made me want to change it to, maybe I should just do 185, because 175 is kind of crazy, because I have a naturally larger and stockier build, because I've been so fat for my entire life that my body had to adapt by having super dense bone structure. So I have more weight than other people, and I have a shit ton of loose skin on my body, so that's like a couple extra pounds. So I can't compare myself to like G's at the similar height as me who've been lean their whole life. Like I will say Paul Saladino, this guy is around my height and he's like 165, 170, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should do that too. But I'm different because I've been so fat for the whole life. I have a stockier build, so I can't really compare myself to that weight and think it's something I should strive for. I mean, I could if I wanted to get to like 5% body fat, but even 175 might be crazy, because even right now, I think I will say I'm like 25% body fat, 25 to 30, that range somewhere there. I don't know if it shows or not, but I was trying to do like an AI analysis of my body fat. He was saying, yeah, you look like 25, like 26, 27, and I was like, okay, whatever. And what I was actually quite interesting is that I was working at the job, and then I was trying to unbuckle my belt, like adjust it, and one of my coworkers, he's like 60 years old, he's like this big, or I mean, he's like this lean guy, and he's a cancer survivor, and he's from West Virginia, and he was like, he talks in like, when he says yesterday, he's like yesterday, but he was basically telling me, oh, you buckling your belt, you must have been eating a big lunch. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, gotta get some meat on your bones. And I was like, what, meat on my bones? Dude, he doesn't know, because I've only known him for like a couple of days at this point, but we've been working together. And he's like, yeah, he doesn't know my story. I've been having the meat on my bones. And I was like, damn, wait, that means I might actually look a bit skinnier to these people, because the people that I work with are, you know, in Lynchburg, there's a lot of obese people, right? So I do look lean compared to them, but like me compared to what my idealized self is I'm still fat. But when I thought about that, I was like, wait, I might actually be leaner than I thought right now, objectively, compared to American society, because I am below average in terms of obesity now, which is really good. But that made me adjust my targets from 175 to 185, because I think what I want to do is that I will cut from here to 190 pounds, and when that happens, I'll do maintain, but then I will finally do my bulk, and I can finally build muscle instead of been cutting my whole life, because I want to get higher numbers with the bench press. And then I will do that for a couple months, go to 200 pounds, and then I was like thinking, okay, 200 to 175, but then I was like, 200 to 185 might be better because I have the stockier build. So I just think that's more realistic for me. And then once I'm around that weight, I will pretty much oscillate around 185, 190 for the rest of my life, because I don't eat any junk food. I only eat healthy food, like natural food, one ingredient food. That's the only thing I eat. So it's hard for me to gain body fat unless I really, really try. So and that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. Just wanted to say I might actually be 150 plus pounds of fat loss instead of 130 plus pounds. And I will be using this because I'm starting up some Instagram. I want to do a little bit more Instagram things too. So I have to have the branding. You know, 150 pounds of fat from a Korean American guy. I'm just realizing that's kind of a crazy thing. So I should sell that story because there's a lot of value in that, right? When people look at a number like 150 pounds, they're like, that's a whole person right there. And this guy lost that in fat. That's a lot, right? And when I am at 185, I can say I lost 175, 180. I'll say 180 because that sounds fun. But 180 plus pounds, that would be quite interesting to see. But basically, that's pretty much all I was saying in this video. And I'll see you guys.